What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Walking Dead universe, and in today's video I'm going to be going over what was Operation Cobalt. Now this will take us back to the very beginning of the initial outbreak in the Walking Dead universe. This is a new series that I'll be doing until we get back up to speed with new episodes in The Walking Dead. So I kind of wanted to go back and start from the very beginning and go over major things that happened in a timeline form. But if this is your first time here, consider hitting that subscribe button if you love The Walking Dead just like I do. And if you do subscribe, comment #new so I could personally thank you for supporting and joining this family. And if you do enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up because it does help support the channel as well. Now let's get into the video. So what was Operation Cobalt? Now in the normal main Walking Dead TV show, we don't get a very big glimpse into what this was. We do get some sort of flashback scenes, especially in season 1 with Shane. We do get a couple flashback scenes with that, but we get a bigger look into Operation Cobalt in Fear the Walking Dead. Now, there are a lot of people who are not big fans of Fear, and there are a lot of people who love Fear the Walking Dead. So this might be split, but if you have not watched Fear, this will give you an insight into what happened in the very beginning. So Operation Cobalt was the name given to the plan devised by the U.S. military in order to contain the spread of the infection. Operation Cobalt also had a plan for the military when and if they lost control of the situation. So Operation Cobalt was put into effect around 3 days after the initial outbreak in the United States. And as we know, especially from Jenner back in season 1, that this was all over the world. And we have no idea really the outcome of any other countries that have been affected at a bigger scale or even maybe less of a scale because the communications went down. So obviously the military was deployed to huge areas such as Los Angeles, Atlanta. We see this in The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead. Once the outbreak overwhelmed local law enforcement. Obviously that did not take very long because they were not prepared for this kind of situation. Obviously, and if you know a deeper look into the Walking Dead universe, there was no such thing as a zombie film, so they had no idea about shooting them in the head or certain ways to take them out. Obviously, like if this happened in our life, we have video games, we have movies that have gone over what to do if zombies ever came, but they did not have this in the Walking Dead universe. So they had never seen a corpse get up and walk. They had no idea, so they were really unprepared for this type of situation. And once the military came into these cities, they were supposed to set up safe zones in urban areas. We saw this in Fear the Walking Dead when they did this in the cities, the outer cities, not the big cities, but kind of the little areas around that had smaller neighborhoods. What they also did was use places like arenas and big facilities, community colleges, to contain and secure those that were sick or infected. Once those areas were set up, the safe zones would be used almost as an area for the military to plan and select defensible areas, set up medical facilities. Those that were brought to the medical facilities would be held in custody until they're either seen by a doctor or the infection took them over. Those who turned or showed signs of infection were to be humanely terminated and with their bodies burned or cremated. And obviously, if you remember when Rick came out of the hospital, they did not even get nearly close to that with the bodies piled up behind the hospital. The National Guard was also supposed to go in and try to retake the city, and they were supposed to terminate infected outside of the safe zones, and for some reason they were terminating survivors that were outside of the safe zones as well. Another thing they were supposed to do was supposed to be prepared in case they were overwhelmed and lost control of the situation, they had a backup contingency plan in place. Now, the contingency plan didn't seem too well thought of from the beginning. I believe the military thought that they were going to easily be able to take control of the situation. Obviously, them not knowing that everybody was infected, and no matter how you died, that you were going to be infected. I believe they thought that once they took out those that were infected and those possibly infected, that they would be able to just take control of the whole situation and everything would kind of go back to normal. So there's really three things and key points that were part of this contingency plan. Individuals in medical facilities were to be humanely terminated. Military units would withdraw during the night as to not panic the civilian population. They'd withdraw to military bases. Infected zones were to be napalmed in order to terminate infected subjects and try to contain the further spread of the virus. And we saw that with Shane back in season 1 when him and Lori were going towards Atlanta and they weren't able to get in. They started bombing the city. We saw that in Fear the Walking Dead as well when they were boarding the Abigail and the city started to get bombed. So the known cities that were bombed were Atlanta, Georgia, Los Angeles, San Diego, Portland, Seattle, Phoenix, and there were just, I'm sure, many other major cities that we just have no idea that were bombed. Now, obviously, this Operation Cobalt did not go as planned. We have not seen the whole United States area, but we do know in the places that we have seen that it did not go as well planned out as they thought. Obviously, by the time Rick woke up, Operation Cobalt was pretty much over. There was nothing left. The military was pretty much gone. We saw glimpses of small units, like the unit that the governor took out. And when the CDC arrives and we see this new show, are we going to see more of the military that was left and kind of grouped together and kind of almost form their own sort of government? We shall see. But I believe the CDC will have a lot more of those people that were left over and grouped together to form the CDC. It seems more like of a government style group as opposed to groups like the governor, groups like the Saviors. Obviously, the Whisperers are just all out crazy. Rick and his group tried to do what they could. Alexandria. Deanna obviously was part of politics and was able to kind of have sort of a hierarchy and use those that brought in as what they were before. So it made more sense, but we'll see this on a grander scale with the CRM and with the Commonwealth that will be coming as well. And we might get a glimpse even farther back on different things that happened during Operation Cobalt. But I wanted to just take you back and kind of explain exactly what it was to start this new timeline series that I will be releasing over, I'm sure, the next couple of months, because there is a lot to go over, especially with Fear the Walking Dead and the Walking Dead show. There's so much to go over, and I will be placing things in their certain timelines, even if they were shown later on, like when Alpha and Beta first met. But I will be showing exactly as best as possible where that would be in the normal timeline. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this flashback and informational video on Operation Cobalt. If you did, please hit the thumbs up, and if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe and comment #new again so I can let you know and thank you for joining and supporting this channel, and I will talk to you guys all in that next video.